Hello everybody, it's Miss Bradshaw here, and today we are going to be reading The Tunnel, written by Anthony Brown. Let's find out what happens in our story. So, open it up. Once upon a time there lived a sister and a brother who were not alike in any way. In every way they were different. The sister stayed inside on her own, dreaming and reading. The brother played outside with his friends, laughing and shouting, throwing and kicking, roughing and tumbling. We can see him there. At night he slept soundly in his room, but she would lie awake, listening to the noises of the night. Sometimes he crept into her room to frighten her, for he knew that she was afraid of the dark. If you have a look at the picture here, where is the boy? Well done, here you can see him here, being a bit mean and wearing a mask, creeping into his room. Whenever they were together, they fought and argued noisily all the time. We can see that here in this picture. One morning, their mother grew impatient with them. "Out you go together," she said, "and try to be nice to each other just for once, and be back in time for lunch." But the boy didn't want his little sister with him. So what do you think he's going to do? Let's find out. They went to a piece of waste ground. "Why did you have to come here?" he moaned. "It's not my fault," she said. "I didn't want to come to this awful place. It scares me." "Oh, you baby," said her brother. "You're frightened of everything." And he went off to explore. You can see them two there, and she's just reading her book there and ignoring everything that's happening around her. "Hey, come here," he yelled a little while later. She walked over to him. "Look," he said, "a tunnel. Come on, let's see what's at the other end." No, we mustn't," she said. "There might be witches or goblins or anything down there." "Don't be so wet," said her brother. "That's kid stuff." "We have to be back by lunchtime," she said. But you can see her brother's gone down there. What do you think she's going to do? I think you're right. I think she might go as well. His sister was frightened of the tunnel, and so she waited for him to come out again. She waited and waited, but he did not come. She was close to tears. What could she do? She had to follow him into the tunnel. You can see she's gone in, but she's left her book behind. I think she's become really brave now. What do you think? The tunnel was dark and damp and slimy and scary. At the other end, she found herself in a quiet wood. There was no sign of her brother, but the wood soon turned into a dark forest. She thought about wolves and giants and witches, and wanted to turn back, but she could not, for what could become of her brother if she did? By now she was very frightened and began to run faster and faster. You can see her here in the forest. Here we go, what she found, what's happened. Here's the pictures. Just as she thought she could run no further, she came to a clearing. There was a figure, still as a stone. It was her brother. "Oh no," she sobbed. "I'm too late." What's happened to her brother? Yeah, he's been turned into stone. She threw her arms around the cold, hard form and wept. Very slowly, the figure began to change colour, becoming softer and warmer. Then, little by little, it began to move. Her brother was there. "Rose! I knew you'd come, he said. They ran back through the forest, through the wood, into the tunnel and out again, together. When they reached home, their mother was setting the table. "Hello," she said. "You two seem very quiet. Is everything all right?" Rose smiled at her brother, and Jack smiled back. And that is the end of our story. So I leave that story there. And can you tell me something that you've learnt about sibling bonds, so brother and sister relationships? What have you learnt about that from that story?